they executive produced that movie Policy, and like Rose Spit is the leading actor in it. And I went to their movie premiere like a month ago, and it was just pretty dope, man. Just to see the whole concept of like because Rose Spit he's a pillar in the hip hop with him having his clothing store and him being an artist, and then just having him being in a movie, like a Michigan bred movie. It's just kind of like that's what honestly kind of gave me this concept. I was like, okay, Rose Spit, and he's in I would say it's a pretty funded movie, this Policy, and it's the background scenes, the backdrop is Detroit. And it was like, I just thought that was so dope. So it's like if we marry that Michigan rap and the whole Tubi nation, it's just going to create more fans, more people are going to be interested, You
ever seen that movie in Broad Day called Broad Day?
No, honestly, man.
It's a Tubi movie. It's a Detroit movie. It's based on the true story. But the best part of the movie is it's a good movie, but it's a scene where my man getting chased by the police, right?
Right.
The police behind him. And guess what started playing?
What?
Born broke, beat up, and always hungry. Never thought I'd turn into a criminal, if anything. I was like, oh, they threw the My Nine rhymes in there.
Damn, man. Well, I will say this, and I'm not saying I gotta throw a little bit of punches. I say the business of the movies here is not all the way together, and even for like tracks like your tracks or anybody else tracks, it's hard to get. It's like they don't really get the concept of music licensing. Some of these movies, they know about the aspect of cameras, but because I've had some of my clients, like one of my clients, like they wanted his song, they wanted her song to be in one of their movies, and I tried negotiating with them, and I'm not trying to be like, man, I'm a humble brother, but I've done negotiations with Warner Brothers, Universal, major $100 million movies, and I know how to get to get a song in a movie. It's not like a cakewalk. You really gotta know what you're doing. And right. when I negotiated with some of these local movies, and I'm not making a blanket statement, but I noticed they didn't have their shit together. And I was trying to make it work, but I'm like, yo, you guys got to do this. You got to do this protocol. So I wish more professional people who know the licensing business would get a part in the Michigan scene, the movie scene, because a lot of wasted time and money goes into putting music. They get denied because then it's like, like if Netflix, which they really know about music licensing, they don't want to put like a song that's not sanctioned in a movie on there because Netflix is liable to get sued. Amazon Prime is. So I wish we would have that. Hey man, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I think that's the problem we're about to have.
Yeah, no, for real. Like we're like talking about with the movie scene. We've had like with City G, who's known with that. We've had Omari, if you know Omari as well.
My home, Morilla.
Yep. Rilla.
Zoo Gang in the building.
Yep.
Man, I'm gonna represent. No, what'd you say? What'd you say? No,
I was saying. Wait.
Oh, I gotta be honest here. With Tubi, and this just me. I done had a wild ass life, right? And I was like, I really wasn't into the Tubi's movies because I lived that life. Man, I'm from Highland Park, a wild ass life. I done had the most craziest women in my life. I done had some crazy ass family members, crazy ass friends, and it's been so many different situations in my life. I'm like, what Tubi movie could top what I done been through in my life? And so I would rather watch like Squid Games or some shit like, or watch Batman because man, most of those Tubi movies was dealing with like our culture. And I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm a changed man because a lot of people be like, "Well, Mark, you see this movie on Tubi?" And I did download the app recently, and I got to start watching some of the movies because some of the movies got like my friends, my dogs in there. But I just was like, man, look, it's almost like it's not. This is a bad analogy, but fuck it. Let's roll. It's almost like if somebody cooked chicken all day at Church's Chicken or Popeyes, and then when you come home, your girl got, oh baby, I made some chicken and macaroni. You're like, I ain't gonna eat that. I've been around chicken my whole work day.
Yeah,
And so that's
yeah.
how I was with the Tubi. And mind
Kind of
you,
like when you come home from that job, like when you work that job too, and yeah, it's like, oh man, my stuff smell like that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And cause like bless my mother, man, but my mother worked in the state of Michigan like for 30 years, and she was like, she had to deal with like the secretarial pool about English and all of that. And so when home and I show my mother my schoolwork, she didn't want to hear it. She was like, Mark, I don't want to hear about no English literature. I don't want to hear none of that shit. All day long, I've been dealing with like proper etiquette of English. Look, you got to handle that yourself. So that's how kind of it is. We go with Tubi. It's just like, man, it's all us. And
I kind of catch a vibe, but yeah, like what was it when I was out there in Detroit? Like when I stayed with Dice for that week and we did that show, like Gutter could tell you, like how Mexican town right there, like we're like Little Mexico right over here in Tucson, Arizona, and I was like, I just wanted to compare the two though, and I felt like I was still at home though, you know what I mean, in Mexican town, Southwest. So,
but man, it's so crazy. And I mean, some of the, and I did like the earlier aspect, and this would led me to that, like 5,001. What is that? 5,000K. Like the earlier Detroit movies, I was all in. But then, it was a couple of and I can't.
313.
Yeah, like that. I went to the movie premiere.
Envy with Ray J and Keith Sweat.
Yeah. All of that I was in.
Forbidden Fruit.
Yeah. Oh man, Forbidden Fruit. Man, let's just talk about him for 10 seconds, man. Forbidden Fruit had an album. Man, I remember his album, man. He was in the studio and he wanted to get some features. He had got Royce and then me, Proof, and Bazaar went in there to do a track with him. Man, Forbidden Fruit had fire. And then when he transferred over like into acting, and now he I like to call him a motivational speaker. Like he be kicking some real game on social media. Like Forbidden Fruit is a talent, man.
I know you
We still on air?
Yeah. I'm still here. I was trying to see. Yeah, I heard some technical. Yeah, I was like trying to see what everybody was talking about. Like, I heard you. I was like, but yeah, it was like
I heard everything you said.
Yeah, Forbidden Fruit right there. Yeah, dope.
Yeah, man. We come from a whole era. I mean, this whole music scene is, man, we are very blessed to be in this music scene, especially if you love music. Well, you gotta love music. But man, it's like a very blessing, man.
I agree. Like definitely like with this Michigan scene right there. That's what I've always liked. Like since teaming up with my brothers here on the, on the podcast, we always want to keep it, like home, like the home team. We consider you a hood smoker with us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, how did y'all come up with that name? If I could ask.
The hood. Okay. Gutter, are you there? Cause like I don't know if he's cut out. Or
He's still having technical difficulties.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd rather him explain it, but I mean, I can kind of break it down, and he can say whether I said it right, or if he want to add something to it when he comes back. You got to help me with a little bit with this, BKX. But pretty much, I guess the Hood Smoker was like one of his homies, like that Gutter's homies. Like, hey, we're just hood smokers. Like just before you have anything established, you know, like they was just, you know, smoking weed, you know, like in doing the rapping and stuff like that. Yeah, and then you know we were added to the game. We all came from the same rap group. Nate can tell you, called KDT, which was Killers Don't Talk.
I remember when Gutter had left. When Gutter left KDT,
KDT.
he was saying that he was gonna start a podcast called the Hood Smokers Podcast.
Wow.
He was saying, he was inboxing me that saying that that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at that time, around that time, that's when I started transitioning out the KDT.
Yeah. And here's the crazy part. Then I was part of the group when both of them had left, you know, from the same group. And, you know, so.
And he looking forward to doing tracks with me and Gutter. And both of us gone. The other two ain't said a word.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like, yeah. Shout out, you know, definitely shout out, you know, KDT. But yeah, no, it was crazy because I didn't even know it was like that. You know, like, yeah. Yeah. So long story short, that's kind of how we all got connected, was coming from the same rap group right there. But the Hood Smoker part, I don't know if he's told you the same thing. If I'm right, was just kind of like I guess it was a term that he knew, just like with one of his homies. I think it's Monteca.
Monteca.
Yeah. And just, you know, Hood Smokers was just kind of a term that he kind of coined. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. But man, no, like we've always considered you like a hood smoker officially, man, because we've had you on right here. And it's always like been, you know, like a cookout. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I got history with this dude right here, bro.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, man. Hey, man, this is like it's family, man. You know, and it's so crazy, man. Just coming on here with you guys. I mean, and that's it. Kind of jogs my memory, so I won't forget any stuff. Like I come on here, you guys want me to come on here, and I come and I kick it. It ain't like no, I got a crib notes, you know, and all of that. It's just like we kicking it, and we just talking, you know, stuff we all been through in the past, like our experience, and we just sharing it with your crowd, with your subscribers. It's just simple as that.
I mean, that's the whole point of hip hop, keeping it real.
Right.
Keeping it raw. That real aspect to it.
I'm still stuck on the 313 thing, man. That's gotta be. Hopefully, man. This is like heaven sent. Cause I was having like a somewhat alright day, but just that, man, that really enlightened me, man. That really put a smile on my face.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. It's always a pleasure to have you on, though. Always.
Man, dude, that's like crazy, man. But once again, man, I mean, I want to, you know, this is like, you know, the Up North Heat thing, and it's starting to roll out. You know, our Instagram page up, and we were like, you know, me and Jay was talking a little earlier, you know, about like the Stan documentary happening. You know that it comes out. You know, it was in movie theaters for a week, and it's coming out again. I think on Paramount. You know, the Paramount app or the Paramount Universe. It's coming out, I think, the 26th. But you know, one of our first promotions was, you know, we did something with the Shadyverse. That's like one of Eminem biggest fans. You know, like, and so we did my Up North Heat and Shadyverse. That's like they got like over 500. We did a cross promotion, like giving away tickets and giving away some Eminem vinyl. You know, so we just building it from the ground. Stan documentary, it's great, man. I mean, you know, if anybody's in the documentary, it's great. It's a great documentary, and it's just like, you know, M didn't want to just do like, and I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but he just didn't want to do like a documentary on himself. He wanted to like turn the cameras around, like almost like reverse engineering. He wanted to show you know, what time the fans was on, the people who was really, you know, getting like, you know, became fans of his. So it's a different thing. I'll say, you know, if you like want a good music documentary, watch that. It's some surprises and some dope stuff.
I'm most definitely gonna watch that. I most definitely is.
Yeah, man, because you know it's just like, you know, it's like I said, man, it's, you know, you can learn so much from people who, you know, somebody that says, okay, they got it done. Like, say for instance, you want to be a millionaire, you're not going to study somebody that didn't become a millionaire. You're going to study somebody that was successful, and you got to get all of that ego hate out. I just like study the system, study how it is, and that's why I think that these new artists, they just get so much ego, but they need to study like how did create this huge monster, and take some little notes from it, you know, learn something from it.
Right. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, man.
Gotta bridge, but the thing is that we gotta bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? The OGs, some of us gotta reach out to the youngsters, and the youngsters gotta quit being hard headed and be willing to listen. And the OGs need to chill out sometimes and think we know everything, because we don't. They might got some new tricks that we don't know.
Man, let me tell you something. Man, just you guys, you know, entertaining and being on topics, man, you guys are making a big contribution, because I got friends, and like I said, even associates, counterparts, somewhat business partners, they don't want to hear not one verse from the new wave of artists. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to entertain it. They don't want to. They'll be stuck listening to. Hey, I was listening to Gangsta Nip last night, man, but they will be stuck listening to Gangsta Nip and EPMD, and they don't even want to hear the new art. And I think that's not hip hop to me. At least, like, you know, just don't shit on everything. Let's, like, you know.
I mean, it's kind of the same with the youngsters too, because I was watching an interview with Lil Yachty, and Lil Yachty was like, "Why would I listen to Tupac and NWA? Why would I listen to serious rap? That shit boring to me. Ain't no party in
it." But you know what though, Lil Yachty, and this ain't like I did see he always saying some shit, but I did see that, but. Lil Yachty, man, this just me, because, you know, ironically, you know, nephew Nassan did a song with making. Now he has a lot to be. He needs a lot of studying still in the student of hip hop. You know, because sometimes he ain't in high school, and he may have made it into the middle school of hip hop, but he has a lot of learning to do. So, you know, he'll say, "What is that?" You know, so I take what he says with a grain of salt. Right. You know, he got a song with the sign and it's doing numbers. So, but you know, it's like, yeah, when guys say stuff like that, I kind of just disavow what's, you know, you got to see who it's coming from. Right. And you gotta just see, like, okay, then you gotta base it on that, you know.
Right, cause me myself, I bump Roddy Ricch, Ray Sterling. I still be in my beat. I ain't living right. I ain't got no tight. You know what I'm saying? King Von. I bump King Von. I bump NBA Youngboy. All the Kendrick Lamar Cooks, everybody from Lyrical Lemonade.
Well, that's man. You are a great contributor of hip hop. You know what I mean? Because I know we could get stuck on, like, look, to be really candid with you, and I platform coming up, man. When I'm driving or I'm like yeah, man, you got the Scarface, you got the Threat, you got, you know, that's from our era, and that's like the golden age. But, you know, I also still gotta, like, bend my ear and listen to the new, just to be like not to say I'm gonna play their music 24 hours a day, but I still want to be up with the times, and because of your platform and my new platform, we got to stay up the times, especially in this Michigan, because man, Michigan, it's so many. Literally, man, my studies and my analysis, it's like, man, it's 50 or more Michigan artists that's making an impact right now. I mean, seriously, and I'm not saying they all like driving Rolls Royces. Some of them is just probably getting by, but when you talk about like all of the, when you talk about all of them together, when you Cash Dollars, Babyface Rays, RMC Mikes, it's like 50 of them. That's like, and when you really think about it, and then because it's like, I heard the term the death of gatekeepers, but no, it's just so much music being, it's not like, once again, it's not like back in the day when we were like just sitting by the radio and saying, hoping of music is gonna come on. Now these kids can go on YouTube, or they could go on, certain channels, and they don't need JLB. They don't need no radio. They could go, or they could go on Spotify, and then what's gonna happen? They might go to listen to an All-Star JR, but then a new song is gonna come up that they like, and then they could become fans of that. So yeah, man, it's a whole new, era now, man.
Oh yeah, whole new era, whole new ball game. We in that digital era.
Yeah, man. I just don't know, man. It's like,
now one thing I can say is that a lot of the younger generation, they do need to show their appreciation for the grind before this digital era, because without the OGs putting in the work that they did, then it wouldn't have been no hip hop scene if those OGs wouldn't have made that struggle back then.
Well, let's okay. So let's take that. Let's take that. Okay, so man, it's a book, and I'm not saying I'm Mr. Religious, but I do like read about spiritual and religion, and it was a quote, and I know I'm going to butcher it first off, but it's a quote where they say, when a community raises if you don't educate them on a trade, you're creating a thief. So,
basically you are.
Yeah. So when they don't have nothing to look at, like now, these new kids that's 10 or 11, they could go to Hood Smokers and see on YouTube and see about hip hop. But back then, these new kids you talking about, these kids in that era that were coming up, they didn't have no guidebook or no to know this is the proper protocol. So these kids are like I want to be a rapper. They get in the studio and they don't know what they want to do. And to be really brutally honest, if you want to be real, I don't think half of these new Detroit artists have never even been to JLB. I'm seriously, they don't even know what radio, they don't even know the pop, they don't even, cause the concept, how we listen to music, they don't know that. But then it's gonna take like shows like this, platforms like this for them to get research and study it. That's when you become wisdom, when you start like studying what you want to be like, what you want to be, what trade you.
Hey, that's why I said what I said on my that line on my song Go Bang. When I say I keep it original, never been a criminal. I was keeping it real.
Yeah, because you got taught by, your family and your neighborhood how to do that, but how to keep it real. But now these kids, man, they don't have no honor code or nothing. But so basically, we teaching them how to be. If we ain't teaching them nothing, we teaching them how to be disrespectful. Basically, in a nutshell, and that's where it's got to come. Where like brothers, like the hood smokers. We do, it's like these podcasts, and they get knowledge. Because I bet it's one or two kids And I had to really assess my life on this. Sometimes I was like, man, what did I do? Did I make an impact? And I know it's at least one or two people, that my career it was impact. And hopefully I'm being humble, but hopefully I just hope my contribution to hip hop in whole contributed something, contributed something positive.
See what people need to realize when it comes to making impact. Just the smallest gesture you do for somebody, it can be as simple as offering somebody some food that's hungry. You done made an impact on that man's life. No matter how simple the favor is, no matter how simple the deed is, somebody will appreciate it.
That is total. That's called basically what we vibing out to is called the butterfly effect. And and it's like, this is like, just in my research of the butterfly effect, is that look, everywhere around the world, when somebody serves you food, you are supposed to, it's like customary, and some areas is law where you got to give them water. So, when we come and we go to a restaurant and they give water, that's kind of like the rules of the game, but you know how that happened? Somebody was in a restaurant and choked because they didn't have no water or something. This is real. That's the butterfly effect. So it was probably some unfortunate person in Mexico or in Florida that was eating some food and they choked because they didn't have, the restaurant provide them. Well, then now all across the world, they give you water for free in essence. And so that's the butterfly effect. So, when you say that, it's like it could be one person driving down the street blasting, I don't know, an iceberg vessel, or back in the day, blasting 3 times dope. And, and they was like, damn, I want to. And then you hear that song and you go to the record store, or nowadays you go to YouTube and you creating a fan base. And all that motherfucker driving down the street with his sounds bumping, and he's getting that particular artist new fans. But that's contribution. Any little dent, it affects the whole wall.
Do everything. Every little aspect, from promotion to the marketing to the producers, to the engineers, to the artists, everybody makes an impact, makes a contribution.
That's right.
To the game.
Yeah. And we gotta respect that, man. It's just like, man, and I just wish we had some kind of build where we can, like, revenue could come in, especially like for the old school artists. Because I think what's missing, and help me out here, y'all. I think what's missing is, like, how St. Andrews used to be open where it was events happening. And you remember back in the day, we had like certain venues. Like, it needs to be where, like, hey, you want to do a show and you want to get 100 people there, you want to charge $10 a head. I think the show part is missing here. Now that's like kind of not, I can't wrestle every aspect. I'm not Batman. But right. I think venues play, because, we talk about Crush Groove, we talk about breaking, we talk about the essential movies, right? It was always performance. So, like with the Fat Boy, and we don't have that like here. And I think that affects here. We don't have, like, because, when you see a performance, shout out to Chanel. She did that festival down at Hart Plaza for it, from powers that be. But we need, like, that. That's one of the 5 elements of hip hop, just performing. And we don't have that here. And I think that plays a damage role, because it was so many times, like in our era, or I'm a little older than you guys, but in my era, I would see an artist, and that kind of led me on to being a fan of theirs, because you know, like say for instance, Monty Ski and Detroit Most Wanted. I remember I was at a show, man, and this is like, man, I know I was in high school. And they came with the Bossellini hats, and I think they had suits on, and I mean, they was like living the Detroit lifestyle, and it was like that instantly. Like, man, I think it was maybe like 400 or 500 people at that event, huh?
The top 10s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know, it was something I think like Brian Records sponsored this show, and they had Smiley and they had Smiley Detroit Most Wanted. And it was like it was like a high school, you know, and man, it was like instantly everybody there became fan of it. Everybody got the flow of it. And I think with live performance, now, would we, like those 500 people that was there, if they weren't on stage and they just was playing the cassette, yeah, some of them would get it, but the impact is when you like live in person and see an artist perform.
That's always the case. That's how I found I got into a lot of Detroit artists.
Yeah.
At shows.
So let me ask you this. So you thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna freestyle. Do you think like video jukebox, hanging at record stores, seeing what's hot, and TV shows, was how you really found rap back in the golden years when you was like real teenager?
Man, when I was real young, I found rap in every avenue. Jukebox, MTV, word of mouth. Every avenue it was, the hits of hip hop. Magazines, hell, the New Dance Show.
There you go. Yep. Oh, that was one too. Magazines. Magazines was that was prominent. You know.
Back when we had Funky Fresh in the Flesh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you remember? Yeah, Barry and them. I used to write for Barry. You know. Yeah, like the Source and man, do you remember this magazine? I was with Sean. We went to this festival. We went to this food festival, just hanging out last week, and I remember. You remember Raw Edge magazine?
Oh man,
it was a Detroit magazine. Detroit. Yeah, you remember that?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, so yeah, Raw Edge magazine. We always had our media follower there. Raw Edge, we talking about the 90s, right? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And there was another magazine that was just at the top of my head. I was just Underground Sounds.
Mark Kempf, Underground Sounds. Was that it? Man. Dude, where did Todd? He left us too, man.
Uh-huh.
Damn. Hope it wasn't nothing I said, man. Hopefully my cologne.
They probably having technical difficulties.
I was just playing around. Like, yeah, man. I showered. I had my cologne.
Yeah, man. Those was the good old days of hip hop. The jukebox, Rap City, before it was in the basement.
Right. Man. Another day we was gonna talk about like old to the new. I mean, I was about Nassan, you know, because we talked about, you know, Proof, Big Proof, but man, Nassan is his son is really, he's kicking some butt now. It took him, it was a metamorphosis. It took him like maybe 2 or 3 years, but man, he is in a zone now, you know, and it's like, you know, so that's so crazy, man. Seeing like him when he was a little baby and go from like just being like doing music videos, and he out here. He really out here. He's
out here doing this thing, and that's what's up.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, man. He's got a song with a Mexican OT. That Mexican OT. He's got and he's got a song with Sada Baby, and he got a somebody, and he's working on coming. His album should be out maybe this fall or winter. So man, it's just seeing the sign just out here, and one thing, the sign, of course, he loved his dad, but he always, in the beginning, he wanted to build his own entity. He wanted to just be
All that.
stand out. He just didn't want to be like, man. It was almost like I would be like when he first started like getting a little bit of acclaim. I was like, oh, this Big Proof son, and he kind of was like, man, he kind of pulled me aside, like, man, I just want to be like, of course, I love my dad. He gave me life. But I just wanted to like just get out here for a moment. I didn't want to. When he pulled me aside, and I kind of told other people like, hey, let's let Nassan be Nassan. Let him build as an artist. But he didn't want to come on that like that's Proof son and all that. No,
Right.
man. Shit. So what y'all got? What you got cracking up? What's going on with you, man? What you motioning on, man?
Man, I'm just started this new job, about to get back into the music. Reason why I'm jumping back into the music, because Atlantic hit me up, said I've been on their radar since 2023.
Oh man, that's good, man. Yeah. Damn. So when you dropping another project?
I actually got the whole album finished. I just got to get my finances together, get everything taken care of, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Might even press up CDs.
Wow, man. Let me know, man. Well, we want to showcase you. You gotta send me your single, man. We're gonna play it on on the Up North Heat show for sure, man.
Oh yeah.
So let me send that right over to me, man.
Yep. Got a couple of singles ready to roll. Like I said, it's just that after losing my moms, it was like I kind of lost my motivation.
Man, let me tell you something. You don't get another one of them. I feel, and I was like, man, you don't. That just a piece of you goes into that casket. They do. That's a tough one, man.
But I'm slowly but surely getting back into it. I was writing something the other day.
Yeah, man, just what? Just don't. And I was seeing this about you got all these Instagram, TikTok therapists, but just don't give up. Just keep going, man. Just stay consistent. And I mean, stay consistent. You may not write for 2 months, but man, just always stay consistent, bro. And I know you, man. I know you, man. I know you that you're not a quit, man. One thing about Michigan motherfuckers, they not quitters. We gonna go for ours, and we gonna have that ego gonna be 100. We ain't gonna bow down to shit. And it's about consistency.
And then I had got a hold to some new beats. And I'm like listening to them and I'm feeling them like, oh. And it's like I got a project finished, but I'm like, damn. I'm like, now I want to add this, not I want to add this to that. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do like a little series of it.
Right. Well, man, you just gotta shit. I mean, so you thinking it's gonna be in a month or so? You gonna drop something?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get it done within a month or so. I mean, like I said, the album done.
Okay.
It's done. I just got to do all my copyrights and all that, and
right. Handle your business. That's it. Yeah, handle your business.
I gotta handle that business. When I was working, because I was working at UD Joshua High School as a cook, and when school ended, I was on unemployment. And, that unemployment wasn't paying enough for me to do that.
Right.
My focus was paying these property taxes and keeping his house.
Right. Yeah.
But now I got a new job. I'm a cook at New St. Paul Head Start Agency.
That's dope, man.
Which is federally funded.
Okay. Hey, man. Yeah, you just stay consistent, and this is a culture. It's like there's no like timetable and shit. To be keeping it real with you, these record companies are like damn near dinosaurs. So, you know, it's back to the culture. You know, it really is back to the. You know, it ain't like you got like big Def Jam, big ass boat. Nah, man, everybody gotta grind out now. It ain't like that. You know, I would say like 70% of record companies have been 70% of a staff nowadays have been it's not happening. You know, I mean, it's like you. So you saying like it used to be 100 that was there. Now it's probably like 30. If you doing it like on a basing it on a curve. So yeah, man, it's like it's the wild, wild west out here.
Yeah, man. I mean, but I gotta, like they say, the mic is like a pipe. Once you pick it up, you can't put it down.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Man.
Real. I mean, music is something that it just don't leave you. It just don't leave you. It don't leave you. Even if you ain't making music, you listening to music.
Right.
Because it's in you.
Yeah, man. I just wonder how these new kids like really start to consume new music. Cause like you said, we went down a whole dance show, magazines. Now it's just we in this social media, TikTok, Instagram. It's like, and everything is like so quick, and I don't know how they could really be okay. Like, could a Esham break in this era?
Hey, you know what? Esham, even though Moo Words from Hell, Judgment Day did numbers back in the day, but I believe if that would have dropped, if them albums would have dropped now, it probably would be like platinum. Because if you look at the landscape of what's going on in hip hop, now they all into that crazy shit. Nah. You know what I'm saying? So basically, yeah, if he were to drop them albums was to drop today, I guarantee them will go platinum.
Right. Damn, yeah.
Because think about these youngsters, they love this depressing ass sounding rap.
Right.
I can see the YNs now. How I need eternal rest, help me through my mental stress. I can hear them saying that.
Man, that's deep. Yeah. Wow.
Because if people paid attention to hip hop went from being educational and motivational and telling little stories from the streets to depression, to mental illness.
Right.
That's basically what it went to. It went to mental illness. And if they gonna have a lane for mental illness rap, then Esham will be the one to spearhead that movement.
But with Esham, man, and I know it's his landmark record is Dead Flowers, man. He came so poetic on that.
Oh man, Dead Flowers.
And yeah, like the what did I do wrong? Oh, man, he was like really kicking some man. He was like kicking ass on that record.
My mama was a dope fiend, but what I mean, she was mad at the press, like the Supreme. Yeah, a life I can't handle, so I drink Jack Daniels straight. I bought a gun with one silver bullet for the werewolf in me. I don't pretend to be.
Man, let me tell you, that was crazy,
That's
man.
Bro. Because if you pay attention, he's talking about what he's going through mentally.
Right, yeah. And then he just had fried, man. We could do a whole We could do a whole man. We could do a whole show about Esham. I mean, y'all already probably have. I mean, I probably missed that one, man. But y'all did 313 shows. Damn. We gotta put this one, man. I think I'm gonna snapshot this whole thing, and I'm gonna put this on my wall, man. Show, man. How are they, Jay? Is it? Because I know he was telling me the show got to be short because you guys got some stuff y'all got to handle. How's it look? Any comments? Or I can't see no comments. Any?
Oh, you know what? Correction. We on episode 340.
Oh, okay, 340. Okay, that's 31. Okay, it's 340. Okay. I'm gonna snapshot this. Just so I could tell my grandkids. No, I'm just playing, but yeah, man. But we wrapping. I think is it like time limit this interview where I could come back?
Oh, we go most definitely. You most definitely. You want
right. Well, let's just shoot, because I know you held it down. Let's wrap it, because he was telling me it was gonna be like an hour and a half show. So let's just shoot. You guys invite me back, and man, it's the Up North Heat. It's gonna, y'all can start following, the fans can start following Up North Heat on Instagram, and you follow that, you're gonna know when the what day the show is. So we got that. That's about to really, really, really start cooking for real.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. And that's on Shady 45, right?
Yep. We're gonna have a date and a time. You know, the week or so, I'm gonna like work with you guys. I mean, I'm gonna like, I'm gonna hound you guys like for the official launch date. I want to come up here, and you gotta send me that off air. Send me your songs. We're gonna be rocking.
Oh yeah, I'm most definitely gonna get that to you.
All right, well, show then. Man, it was a pleasure talking to y'all guys, man. Hey, send